Hello everyone, welcome back to another card making tutorial, and also welcome back in May. We're already in May, can't believe that. So this is the first of the 3 cards we're gonna do this month, and in this one I have been using the cassette paper, which is still available, and I will put the link down below. This is a stamp set that was available during our Stamptacular sale in March, and it was an exclusive. So this is no longer available, but if you happen to get this one, it was called Parisian Notes, and I just love the distressed background here, the print one, and then those pretty flowers, and then you also have a couple of phrases, which I'm not using these ones in this one, but I'm sure I will get some use of them. And then for the inside, we're going to use a stamp set that is coming from this set. It's called Smile Big. And it's actually a stamp set that supports Operation Smile. So if you have never seen the sets, these are always at the back of the catalogs, and it tells you there that when you buy this set, I think it's $6 or $7 per set goes towards the Operation Smile initiative. So if you want to support a good cause, this is really a nice cause. Plus the stamp sets are always great, so have a look at them. So we're going to use these two, and on the inside, that's the phrase I'm using, and I would say let's get started. So I have my parts here already, and this is how it would come to you. Your butterfly should be all in one. With the butterflies, I use a new Cricut mat when I was cutting them out, and that mat was pretty sticky, which I didn't think of when I was cutting these delicate butterflies, but I think we'll be okay, because I have to put the thinking of you sign in there, so you won't see that part. But yeah, if you cut something delicate, make sure your mat is relatively new, but not that new that it sticks like crazy, because then it's really hard to get the paper off. And I also used our black core cardstock. So we have 2 different black cardstocks. One is with the white core and one is with the black. And this one is the black one, so you don't see the white lines when you cut this out. All right, but first, before we start assembling things, I have to do a little bit sponging. So I stamped this one. This is French vanilla cardstock, and I stamped it with the toffee ink. And I'm also going to use the toffee ink and do a little bit sponging on the edges. So I just use one of our round sponges, and I cut them in little chunks, wedges, and then I take these little paper clips just as a handle, so you know you don't touching the ink all the time. And that's usually how I use mine. And I'm just going around the edges here a little bit quick, and it just ages it a little bit and defines it a little bit more. So if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. If you order this set, it's already done for you. So there's one. It just finishes off. In this case, I'm not always doing this, as you know, but here it just works with the papers and the colors. Okay, we go around the cassette as well, and just give it a quick hint of color. And I also, so this is Desert Rose, and I really like this color, especially for fall. And this one I will use also the same ink, toffee. And if you don't have toffee at home, and always look for a nice brownish type, this is a really nice color to have. So I don't know if you can see the difference between the sponged edges and the not sponged ones. So I think it's just kind of like pulls it all together. So let's do these 2 quick. And then also right now you can see actually the white edge here, or the white core. So when we sponge it, you kind of like cover this core up. So if you ever have something where, you know, the white core kind of like peeks through and you don't really like it, just use the same color ink that you have the cardstock with and just sponge the edges, or black or whatever, you know, working on, and it disappears. All right, so this is toffee ink. So if you don't have this in your stash, think about to get one. All right. Make sure that your card is in the right direction, meaning there's my phrase and this is my front. So let's grab some adhesive. And I'm gonna try my luck with the liquid adhesive here. Oh, hold on. It comes right out. Well, I've been using it earlier, so. I already shook it. Like, you know me, every time I record a video, it's either at the end or in the middle of doing something, I have to grab a new one. All right, here we go. So next thing we put on is this one here, and this just goes to the left, and I just make sure I have a nice even spacing around. And we are doing this one about here, and I'm just eyeballing, I'm not measuring. If you have a Versamat like I do, I mean, you can see the grids here, you can line it up nicely, but I often just guess. Okay, this was a little bit, it's just a hair too long here. Not, that's a big deal, but might as well, while we're at it, cut it off. Okay, now we just put on a little bit of glue, and it goes right in here. So this glitter paper is naturally close to my heart, glitter paper, and the color is, I think it was melon, but we currently still have papaya available. So if you have papaya at home, you can use this one as well. It's, when you hold them together, they're very similar. So there was the desert rose glitter paper and the papaya, for example, were really hard to distinguish. So if you have either or, that will work. All right, this one was raised. So I know it's hard to see. It's got a couple, it's a little bit here, just a couple dots here. So I'm just gonna place a few down here. One more in the middle on the long side and a couple in here. And let's take the backing off. And I'm doing this on the side so I can drop them right in my garbage can here. Otherwise they keep flying around. Well, they do anyway, but I don't want them all everywhere. So, and then this one is kind of centered here. About here. And let's see where we park our little butterfly. So I want to put a butterfly here. And like I said, we're going to cover this up. That works out perfectly. So let's put a little bit adhesive here on the back. And you have a few bigger spots. And then down here, I'm just going lightly, just sprinkle a little bit. Doesn't need a lot. Same here. Just want to make sure I didn't forget to punch out any of the cutouts, but I didn't. So just a few more here. There we go. And then I kind of place this right here. So with the liquid glue, if you have issues with your liquid glue getting just a fine little bit of glue out because you're squeezing too hard or too much is coming out, so it is a little learning curve with this adhesive. If it's new, the bottle is fresh, you don't want to push too hard or squeeze it too hard because there's a lot that's coming out. Once you're getting a little bit lower on adhesive, it will be better, but still you have to kind of get the feeling on how hard you want to push. So I don't really push hard, but I have been using this glue for years, and I know, you know, once in a great while a little bit too much seeps out, but usually I'm pretty good. So if you have problems with this and yours just always comes out too much, and you want to put some adhesive on these thin areas, just when you have a all-purpose mat, put a little bit on here, or just use a piece of plastic. If you have a little piece of plastic or something, put a drop of the adhesive and then take a toothpick and just scoop it up and put it on there. So I got a little bit adhesive on here. We just let this dry, but that pretty much sums up this card. Super easy, but I think pretty, especially with the butterfly, that little delicate one. And you might also have some of our paper packs came with embellishments, black embellishments. I know there was one in the Bloom with Grace, no, not Bloom with Grace, in Full Bloom. The cassette has like a paper print type, but in the one of the paper packs before, we had black butterflies already die cut for you. So if you have one of those, use one of those, whatever you have on hand. Okay, this is still a little bit wet, so we just let it dry before I use the dry eraser and clean it off. And then I just did a couple swirls. So you know me, my doodles are always part of the inside of the card. And here we do another one. And then I just did a couple of dots. And that is our Thinking of You card. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and this new card. And stay tuned. More cards to come. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to join my monthly card club, just contact me for more information. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you back next week with another tutorial. Thanks. Bye-bye.